Though it's one day after Christmas, the Miami Hurricanes and their fans got probably the best gift they could ask for on Saturday, as quarterback De'Aaron King announced that he will be returning for one more season. King is currently a senior, but due to the pandemic, the NCAA is allowing players one extra year of eligibility. Instead of declaring for the NFL draft, King is using this opportunity to run it back in Miami. Before we dive into today's video, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. I post a ton of college football content, so if you enjoy videos like this, then this is definitely the place for you. Players still have a few weeks left to announce whether or not they'll be returning or declaring for the NFL draft. Many assumed that King would be making his decision after Miami's bowl game this Tuesday, but it looks as if he wanted to get ahead of the game. He posted a really cool video announcing his decision on Twitter today. If you've already seen the video, you can just skip ahead to my breakdown of his decision. If you haven't seen the video, well, enjoy.
Obviously, you must have come to Miami thinking, okay, you got 1 year to showcase yourself and then it's on to the NFL. And have you thought at all about where your mind might be at in terms of that decision on whether you potentially coming back or not?
Breaking news from the world of college football. Former Houston quarterback De'Aaron King announced he is transferring to the Miami Hurricanes. This is a significant and major get for Miami. King wrote on Twitter, "Story is still being written."
It's just a great university overall. There's a lot of history here, a lot of winning traditions, and I was excited that they even wanted me, to be honest with you. And just being here, trying to make the best out of this year I have here. Man, I love the game of football. I've been playing it my whole life. So just getting back out there and completing the pass. Man, I haven't completed a live pass in so long.
And King down the middle, caught, touchdown. That man again strikes it Motley, and there's a beautiful throw and the catch made. King, Chris, so accurate on the run.
Chris, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this throw?
King back to throw, fires down the middle, caught! He's long gone!
He has just been welcomed into this program. He's just contagious in terms of his leadership. He's a workaholic, a gym rat that's always working on his game.
Spins out of one tackle, dodges another, still going on.
Come on, baby.
King's at midfield.
The question is, what can't he do?
Before we get to the rest of the video, if you could please take a second to give this video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps share the video with more college football fans, and it really helps out the channel as well. Last month, there were reports going around that King had already made his decision and was going to plan on entering the 2021 NFL Draft. There were rumors that he was talking with Mackenzie Milton about leaving and that maybe Milton would fill in nicely at Miami, but ultimately, Mackenzie decided to transfer to Florida State. Well, looking back at it, maybe Mackenzie's decision should have given us an idea at what King might have been planning on doing. When asked about it last month though, King said no decision had been made yet. No, I have not made up my mind at all. I've seen those reports. People mention me on Twitter and stuff like that, but I haven't made up my mind at all. I want to go out there and beat North Carolina this weekend, focus on Georgia Tech, focus on the bowl game, and then after the season, I'll officially make up my mind. Like I said, it's always been a dream of mine playing in the NFL. But you can't go wrong playing quarterback at the University of Miami, one of the best universities in the country, one of the historic programs in the country. I wouldn't mind at all coming back here for another year. His older brother Keyshawn spoke with The Athletic and said that he really was torn on his potential decision. There are a lot of factors that play a part in his decision. He wants to finish all the games and bowl games before he does decide. He hasn't sat down and looked deep down into it yet, but he's not opposed to it. He does want to play in the NFL. That's his dream. So it's all going to depend on what happens from here on out starting this Saturday. I'm sure that's something he'd want to be a part of, a team that could be a contender for a national championship next year. That's something he wants to think about too. It's a lot of factors that play in his decision. We'll see what he decides. Miami football head coach Manny Diaz was asked about King's potential decision last month. He said he thought De'Aaron would greatly benefit returning for another year. I don't think De'Aaron has ever been in the same offensive system 2 years in a row, and so just to come back and have the continuity of staff and players around him would be an immense benefit. Well, after weighing all of his options, King thought that it would be in his best interest to return for another season at Miami. He transferred to the U with the hope of competing for championships, and he's going to stay with the same hope for 2021. De'Aaron helped Miami engineer a major turnaround this season. The Hurricanes never reached the AP Top 25 poll last season and finished the season with a disappointing 6-7 record. In 2020, they appeared in all 15 of the AP regular season rankings this year, reaching as high as number 7 in the polls back in October. With King returning in 2021, this will make Miami legit contenders in the ACC once again. Entering their bowl game, the Hurricanes are 8-2 on the year and are ranked in the top 20 of the playoff rankings. Their 2 losses were blowouts to ranked teams, but this season was definitely a step in the right direction after the awful 2019 season they had. King has completed more than 60% of his passes this season for nearly 2,600 passing yards with 22 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. He's also Miami's second leading rusher so far on the season with 520 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. There have been only 2 instances in the last 3 seasons where a quarterback threw for 400 yards and ran for 100 yards in the same game, and De'Ara King is responsible for both of those games. So when he's healthy and everything is fully clicking, De'Ara King is truly the best dual threat quarterback in all of college football. We saw it in 2018 and we saw it in glimpses here in 2020. Next season will be his 6th season in college, a very unusual quirk for most college football players. He appeared in 9 games for Houston in 2016, 10 games in 2017, 11 games in 2018, and only 4 in 2019 before he announced he would forego the rest of his eligibility and would seek a transfer. Playing in only 4 games last season made it possible for him to be eligible this season for a 5th year, and then as I mentioned earlier in the video, the NCAA granting players an extra year of eligibility due to the pandemic. Overall, I think this is a very smart move for De'Ara King. Sure, anything can happen once he reaches the next level, but I think it's unlikely that he's going to remain a quarterback in the NFL. He's a former wide receiver turned quarterback, and I feel like NFL teams would prefer to try him out at either wide receiver or running back due to his size. I know he wants to be a quarterback in the NFL, but I just don't think that's really possible. With such a deep quarterback class this year, there's a solid chance he wouldn't have been picked until day 3, or maybe he could have even gone undrafted. This way, he could run it back in Miami and try to build on what he started this season. I'm not saying that the Hurricanes are going to be competing for a national championship. Now, they very well could be, but I definitely think that there's a realistic chance that they can win the ACC next season. Miami is going to be returning a lot of talent, and yet again, they have one of the best recruiting classes in the entire country. So, what are your thoughts on De'Ara King deciding to return to Miami for another season? Do you think it was the right decision for him, or do you think he should have declared for the NFL draft? Drop a comment down below and share with me your thoughts. Also, let me know what you think this means for the Miami Hurricanes in 2021. Do you think they're going to be legitimate contenders in the ACC with Clemson and North Carolina? Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't done so yet, if you could please take a second to give this video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second to do, and it helps share this video with more college football fans. If you haven't done so yet, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. With the college football offseason approaching, I'll be posting daily college football content. So if you enjoyed videos like this, then this is definitely the place for you. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.